Today we will be solving equations with variables on both sides. Let's take a look at our first example. 5x minus 3 equals 7x plus 2. I'm going to need to get all the variables to one side and all the numbers to the other side. So I'm going to first take a look at the variables. I see 5x and 7x. If I want to keep the variable positive, I'm going to move the 5x over here with the 7x. To move a positive 5x, I subtract 5x from both sides, leaving me with 5x minus 5x is 0. So I have a negative 3 equals 7x minus 5x is 2x. Bring down the plus 2. I now want to get the single variable by itself. So I'm going to have to do the opposite of plus 2. The opposite of plus 2 is minus 2. What I do to one side, I must do to the other. So 2 minus 2 is 0. So I have 2x equals a negative 3 minus 2 is a negative 5. Then to get the 2x to be just a single x, the opposite of multiplying by 2 is dividing by 2. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I get x equals, because 2 divided by 2 is 1, 1x is just x. Negative 5 over 2, I can leave as negative 5 over 2. Many times in Algebra 1, we leave things as improper fractions because when we deal with slope, it's a lot easier to deal with. Let's take a look at another example. Example 2. Let's look at 8x minus 24 equals 2x plus 7. To solve this one, again, I'm going to take a look at my variables. If I want to keep my variables positive, I'm going to subtract the 2x from both sides because 8 minus 2 would be positive. So I minus 2x from both sides, giving me 0 here. So that's 6x minus 24 equals 7. Trying to get the variable by itself, I'm now going to move the negative 24. So I'm going to add 24 to both sides. And that gives me 6x is equal to 31. And then I divide both sides by 6. So x equals 31 over 6, which I can write as another number, but in algebra, again, we like to keep them as improper fractions. So I'm going to leave it there. Let's take a look at one more example. Let's take a look at example 3. Let's do negative 5x plus 4 equals negative 3x minus 2. So to solve this one, to get the x to be positive, if I add 5x to both sides, that would make it positive x's over here. However, if I add 3x to both sides, that would still be a negative over here. So I'm going to choose to add 5x to both sides in order to make it positive. So negative 5x plus 5x is 0. I bring down the 4. 5x minus 3x is 2x. And I bring down the minus 2. Trying to isolate the variable and get it by itself, the opposite of minus 2 is a plus 2. So I have 2x equals 4 plus 2 is 6. I then divide both sides by 2 to get x by itself. So x equals 3. That is solving equations with variables on both sides.